Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I will talk about animals in ancient Egypt. I will tell you what the father of history, Herodotus, is reporting to us about ancient Egyptians' attitude towards animals, and I will focus on some customs and traditions connected with animals in ancient Egypt. The information about the animals in ancient Egypt can be found in the second book of the Histories. The second book is called Euterpe. Euterpe was the muse of lyric poetry. Now I will focus on the chapter 65. So, in this chapter, Herodotus provides us the following information about the animals in Egypt. By the way, I will refer to the English translation of Herodotus made by Alfred Dennis Godley. So, according to Herodotus, Egypt is not a country of many animals. An important fact is that all of the animals are held sacred. Some of the animals are part of men's households, so they are domestic animals, and some of them are not. They are wild animals. It is very essential to note that in this paragraph Herodotus avoids talking about the divinity of animals in Egypt and avoids discussing the religious beliefs of the Egyptians. Okay, so what happened if domestic animals like cats or dogs died in ancient Egypt? When this happened, there was great mourning. In some places in Egypt, the members of a household where a cat had died a natural death shaved their eyebrows as a sign of grief. Another interesting fact is that domestic cats and dogs were buried in a special way. In chapter 67, we may find this information. That cats were taken away to sacred buildings in the town of Bubastis, where they were embalmed and buried, and dogs were buried by the townspeople in their own towns in sacred coffins. You may have a look at my photos representing a mummy of a kitten, mummies of a dog, as well as small sarcophaguses of cats. These antiquities are now exhibited in the Egyptian collection of the Louvre Museum in Paris. As for birds, dead hawks were taken away to Buto and ibises to the city of Hermes. It is essential to underline that hawks and ibises were greatly worshipped in ancient Egypt. Whoever killed an ibis or a hawk, intentionally or not, died for it. So why ibis was so honored in Egypt? Herodotus is explaining that ibis birds kill winged serpents who fly to Egypt from Arabia in the beginning of spring. That is why ibis birds are honored in such way. The ibis bird is described like this. It is all quite black with the legs of a crane and a beak sharply hooked. You may have a look at my photo of the mummy of ibis. This mummy is now located in the Louvre Museum in Paris, and it can be seen in the Egyptian collection of this museum. If to speak about wild animals like bears and wolves, according to Herodotus, they were also treated in a special way, and they were buried wherever they were found lying. I will also tell you a few words about the Egyptians' attitude towards crocodiles. This attitude was a controversial one, as some of the Egyptians considered crocodiles sacred. For example, people who lived near Thebes and Lake Maris. They considered crocodiles very sacred, and other people treated crocodiles as enemies. In places where crocodiles were considered sacred, they were tamed, and during their lives, people provided best treatment for them. They provided special food and offerings for crocodiles, and when the crocodiles died, they were embalmed and buried in special sacred coffins. It is also very important to pay attention to the chapter 73 of the second book, because in this chapter, Herodotus gives us an amazing description of another sacred bird, Phoenix. Herodotus himself had never seen this bird, but he claims that he had seen some pictures and images of it. It was believed that phoenix came to Egypt very rarely, once in 500 years, when his father died. Herodotus describes the pictures of phoenix that he had seen the following way. The plumage of this bird is partly golden and partly red. The phoenix is most like an eagle in shape and size. According to the beliefs, phoenix fly to Egypt from Arabia. This bird flies to the temple of the sun to bury its father at the temple of the sun. Of course, Herodotus tells us a lot more interesting facts about animals that inhabited Egypt and came to it. You may find all this information in his second book. Guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. Bye. See you next time.